Messi, even Mauricio Pochettino was saying, it's going to take some time for him to settle because he's been such a one-club man for so long. And now he's over in France and it will take him a little bit of time. I just wondered what the reaction over in Paris has been to Messi's start so far.
It's really interesting because in France and in Paris especially, there's been no worries in a way. Yes, he hasn't scored in 2 games and then a little bit of the third one. But he hit the bar twice, for example. He still did some great stuff with the ball. But yeah, okay, there's no goals. Outside of that, even here in England, people are saying like, oh, Messi hasn't scored in 3 games. What's going on? Let's not forget, for example, that Cristiano Ronaldo took 5 games to score his first goal for Juventus when he moved from Real Madrid to Juventus, which was a huge move, maybe more similar than the Ronaldo Juventus to Manchester United, for example. And United hit the ground running straight away. But for Messi, who is a different profile and different style of player, it's a bit different. Of course, he will need a bit of time to adapt to Neymar and Mbappe and that front 3 and where they play with the ball and without the ball. Maybe more importantly, what do you do in terms of pressing? What do you do where you don't have the ball? How high do you play? How deep do you play? All of that, and Pochettino as well. So it's taken a bit of time. We knew it. He's just still such a magician and such a genius that you can't pass him. But you can't put him past him that tonight, for example, he will do something special and score his first goal. He usually does well against Pep Guardiola's team. He starts 6 goals in 4 games against his former manager. So let's hope that for PSG fan, it could be tonight.
Julie, I'm just thinking, and I'd be interested to hear your views on it. I'm not sure if you saw City at Chelsea at the weekend. I thought City were brilliant against Chelsea at the weekend. They really were. I thought they were back to their best, my friend. And what they did exceptionally well is something as we know they can do well. And you're talking about pressing. They had a lot of the possession, majority of the possession, but they pressed really, really high up the park, which prevented, I think, Chelsea in many ways getting the ball up to Lukaku. Do you think that would be City's best option? Stopping the ball at source, getting up to Mbappe and Messi and obviously Neymar, hitting the press the same way they did at the weekend and try and stop the ball at source?
I think you're right. That's the key of the game. I was at Stamford Bridge on Saturday, and the more I was watching the game, the more I was like sort of crumbling on my seat thinking, oh my God, they're going to destroy PSG on Tuesday. This is not good for me. And the good news, I think, just before talking on the press, the good news is there's Liverpool on Sunday. And I wonder if Pep can, I think the team against Chelsea was the strongest City team this season.
Yeah.
I think this is his best team. And when they play like this, I think they're unplayable. But I don't think you can play that team 3 times in a week away from home each time. At Chelsea, in Paris, and then again at Liverpool. And I think if maybe he thinks I have to pick between the PSG game and the Liverpool game, I would think and hope myself as a PSG fan that maybe the most important for him now is the Liverpool one and not this one tonight, where even if they lose in Paris tonight, they will still qualify for the last 16 of the Champions League because they're still too good. So I'm hoping we see a different team. Maybe we still be strong enough to beat PSG. But you're right, the press is the key. And I think the fact that Messi is back now, he missed the last 2 league games. The fact that Verratti is back and we think that he might start the game because that's what Verratti especially is amazing at, is playing under pressure, playing under the press, being able to keep hold of the ball and find a pass and find a solution, even if he has 2 guys on him. And the same can be said about Messi. So at least with that, and I guess with Marquinhos defensively, you've got players in those 3 lines, defensively, in midfield and up front, that can keep the ball under the pressure, that can help you beat the press from City. And that's where the key will be.
Can you tell us a little bit about what we've seen so far in their other games? So like if we're talking about Ligue 1, where they're unbeaten still, won all their games actually, haven't they, PSG? The small amount of times that you've seen Messi, Neymar and Mbappe on the pitch at the same time, are they clicking in the way that you'd hope? Are they setting the world alight? How's it working so far?
So the only against Lyon where they were the 3 of them together, and against Bruges in the Champions League. The Bruges game, first game, you could tell that they were still not really sure what to do, especially defensively. PSG were left a lot exposed, really unbalanced team, and they conceded a lot of chances, far too many. They should have lost that game against Bruges. Against Lyon, 3 days later, it was much better in the league. They pressed well. They counter press especially, so don't ask them to press like Ali was mentioning, like City did on Saturday. They're not going to press for I don't know, 40 minutes of the 90 minutes at the same time, but they will do their 10 seconds there, 15 seconds there of really high press and trying to be efficient. The problem I have with M3 is that, and in a way it's normal, they haven't been able to do it over 90 minutes. What we saw from City at Chelsea was such a masterclass over the whole game. There was not even 5 minutes there where you could have said, oh, they're under pressure or they're on the back foot. PSG this season so far haven't been able to have that consistent over 90 minutes with the ball or without the ball of doing something all together really well for quite a length of time. And I think that's what Pochettino is looking for, starting with tonight. Can they beat the press for a long time? Can they press themselves for a long time and be efficient doing it? And that would be one of the keys. And that front three, at times it's clicked really well. And we saw patterns of play and we saw passing and the movement was brilliant. And other times where it didn't really work out. And I don't know what's going to happen tonight, of course, who's going to play for City in midfield and at the back. But certainly, again, one of the other keys would be, of course, the way this front three of the M&M, the Messi, Neymar, Mbappe partnership can put them under pressure.
Julian, just a quick one before you go on Pochettino. Clearly there's a lot of pressure on him not winning the league last year, and you know the Champions League being the holy grail. What are the press and the media and generally the PSG fans thinking of the job so far?
So far, at least 8 wins in 8 and a draw in the Champions League is almost a perfect start of the season. On the pitch with the ball, it's still a bit more, I was going to say, disappointing. And to be quick, he's still looking, and you can tell, and you can't blame him for it. He's got Messi in his team that he has to accommodate and learn for him to play with everybody else. So he's still looking. But in terms of style of football and what he's trying to do, direction, patterns of plays, again, we still haven't seen it yet this season. So on that level, we're still expecting better from Pochettino, but we know that, again, it will take time because there's so many new players, so much new things that it will take a bit of time.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Laura Woods, Monday to Wednesday mornings 6 till 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.